Welcome back to the Mulberry Book Drop. Bethany, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What month are we in? November?
Yes.
November?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I just had a little, okay. All right. Well, tell me something good.
So we actually had some friends from New York that were here recently, and we got to go have dinner with them.
Ooh.
Yeah, like a real grown-up dinner.
We love a grown-up dinner.
I know. We went, because they told us ahead of time that they were coming, so we were able to we had a couple weeks to figure out if we'd be able to meet up, and they were staying at Disney. And so I was like, well, we don't have passes. And they were like, no, we have dinner at like this one place. So we ended up at the Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yum.
Yeah, it was delicious. But we got there early, so we got to go like walk out and see some of the animals, because at like that area, like the animals are just like walking through, and you know, we had some time, so like we went and got like a grown-up drink, and we were like sitting outside in the rocking chairs like old people. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, there goes a giraffe. So
that's awesome.
It was really cool. And then we ended up, it's a Indian restaurant.
Ooh.
Yeah, the food was just out of this world, and they actually had like a separate menu for my one friend because he can't do dairy, and so he had like a special menu. And then they also had all of the stuff labeled on their menu that was like, you know, vegan friendly or whatever, and so like everybody was able to eat without any issues.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my gosh, the food was so good.
Yeah
Like the lentil dal. I'm such a sucker for lentil dal. I'll go back today. So it was awesome, and it was really good to see them because it's been like 9 years since we've seen them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was really fun. It was like an amazing adult night out, so I was very proud of us. We left the house and went for a real dinner. What about you? What's good?
This might seem a little small, but my family took family pictures.
Oh, yay! That's not small.
Oh, yeah. The last time that we got family pictures done was like 2016 or 2017. And this time, of course, we were able to add my new sister-in-law and new niece into the pictures. So it was great. It was a lot of fun. They are definitely Christmas pictures we all wore. Can you guess?
Was it all like red and green?
It was buffalo plaid.
Buffalo plaid. Oh, I should have known.
Yeah.
Wait, when do I get to see these pictures?
Once they're done being edited.
Okay.
So, I mean, they might be on my phone right now. I don't know.
Okay.
So, has anything funny happened lately?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Well, okay, so you know how I've been going to the new park? I guess they just had their 1-year birthday, so I suppose it's not necessarily new anymore, but that Bonnet Springs in Lakeland.
Yeah.
And it's like my new favorite running place and stuff, but they have been doing these like mind, body, soul like every 2 weeks. So I keep going for like, you know, their yoga, or like that's where I tried that sound bath meditation, which was like really interesting. They had a Zumba class that like kicked my butt. I was so sore. It was so much fun. But I got my one son and my other son's girlfriend to come with me, and we tried Tai Chi.
Ooh.
Have you ever done Tai Chi?
I have not.
Never done it. I didn't really know what it would entail. My legs were actually sore after, because there is a lot of like slow like squatting, like you kind of stayed down for a while, and I was like, I actually kind of felt it a little bit, which I was like, okay. But when we first got there, it's on like that big lawn area, and since I didn't know what we were going to be doing, I was joking with the kids, and I was like, threw my arms out, and I was like, okay, arms width apart, and they were like, what? And then they both threw their arms up and like stepped out, and all of these people saw us doing it, like they thought that we knew what we were doing, and they all started doing it.
No.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, do they think that I actually have any idea what's happening right now? And so we all just kind of started like quietly giggling, and then the one lady turns around and she goes, so do we need a lot of space? You've done this before? And I was like, I never done this in my life. And like everybody just like burst out laughing, and I mean it was
No, that's funny.
It was,
oh my gosh.
I was just joking with the kids, because I'm like, if we do have to, like, you know, you see it in the movies sometimes, and they do like the slow step.
Right.
And so I'm like, well, if we do have to step, like, I don't want to accidentally like step on someone or swing my arm out and like hit someone in the face. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. You know what that like reminded me of as you were saying that? It's like when someone is playing a video game, and if they're like an airline pilot in the video game, and they're like, oh, because I can do that, oh, I can fly a plane.
Right.
I feel like that's giving the same energy. You know?
No, I can't.
That's amazing. Like, oh, so you know what you're doing. Okay, cool. Oh, you don't. Okay.
I was like, please don't watch me.
Be like, oh, hi, I'm your teacher.
Yeah. She was great though. It was really fun, and she had like names for everything. So like all these different movements we were doing, it was like, row the boat and paint the rainbow, and there was this thing where we had to do like reindeer, like she called them like deer antlers. And so my son said to me after, he's like, Mom, he's like, the deer antler thing was really confusing because it was like basically I love you in sign language, and like my kids and I flashed that to each other all the time.
Yeah, see, and I'm thinking rock on.
Yeah. So we both were like, we were laughing about that, and I mean it was very the way she ran the class was very accessible, and it was a lot of fun, and I would definitely try it again. So Tai Chi, who knew?
Yeah.
So
okay, so I have something funny to share.
Okay.
I mean, when don't I? Have you ever been with someone and you go out in public and like everybody knows them?
Yeah, my father.
Yeah, you're right. So I have that friend, and he's like my brother, and we were on the phone the other night, and he went and got food by himself. I'm a huge advocate. Well, partially because I do this. I go out by myself all the time, and like I'll go to restaurants by myself and have a good time. Sometimes I take a book, sometimes I'm on the phone, it's whatever. So he was on the phone with me and he was eating by himself, and he just goes, Sarah, there's a guy sitting across from me, and I think he's whispering to himself. So I'm like, does he have a headphone in? Is he talking to someone? He's like, no. And he's also that friend that like will check on you and be like, hey, how are you? How you doing? Okay, just checking in.
Okay.
Like he's definitely one of those friends. And which you do know who this friend is.
Okay.
It's who you're thinking.
Okay.
And so all of a sudden he said that the guy got up to leave, and as he was walking past him, he's like, hey, how are you doing? And like, I just wanted to check in. And the dude was like, oh, I'm okay. Are you so-and-so? And said his name.
Oh my gosh.
And he was like, Sarah, I have no idea how I know this guy. And like, I was like, this is why you can't go out in public ever. Like he can never go out in public. Like every time, and he's not even from here. And that's what's so funny to me is that he's not from here, but everybody knows him.
Maybe he just needs to like change up the hairstyle or
no,
like
he's
just
done that.
Something. No, still too noticeable.
Yeah, and he still looks the same. I've known him since I was 19, so I've known him.
A couple years.
I've almost known him 10 years. Whoa. Okay. So, but he is. And I just, like, was on the phone with him, and I just was laughing so hard. Yeah. Because I'm like, if it's going to happen to anyone, it's going to happen to him.
Yeah.
And the fact that happens, and you're just out trying to chill, have a good dinner by yourself, and bam. That's it.
That's how it goes.
It is. Oh, my goodness. All right. So, we're here for a reason. Do you know the reason?
I think it has to do with blankets and baked goods.
I love your way of thinking.
Okay.
All right, so we're in the fall months. And I say fall months because Florida does not really participate in fall weather.
No.
Which is, and I know that's very sad for you because you grew up with fall weather. This is all I've known.
Yeah.
and I don't like it. Even though like fall is my favorite time of the year. It's mostly because of my wardrobe. So it's still hot in Florida, and leaves don't really change. There's like a tree here and there. And I think those trees just got confused and are supposed to actually be in Georgia. I don't know. But I was like, what are the perfect books to read during the holidays when you want to sit by the fireplace and enjoy a nice cup of coffee or hot chocolate or tea? Those all sound so good right now.
I like all of those things.
Right? And of course, like cozy mysteries are the first thing that came to my mind. Now, I don't read cozy mysteries personally, so I needed an expert's opinion. And you won't believe.
Sarah.
Got it? Got it?
Oh, it hurts.
I told you last month I love a good pun. So you won't believe who I asked for help. Our very own Miss Catherine.
Oh, I love her.
She is a national treasure, I swear. She is one of our patrons, and she reads a lot of books. Mm-hmm. A lot. She's literally amazing, and she helped me with this list, aka this is her list.
Yeah.
And I just looked it up. I asked her for her favorite cozy mystery books, and when I tell you that she did not disappoint, she had that list done in like less than 10 minutes. So I'm going to talk about her list, and then I know Bethany has a few to share. I don't have any personal ones because I don't read cozy mysteries, but after you hear this list, I think think I'm going to have to give almost all of these a try, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, I have a couple that, to me, fall into the cozy category, but I'm not 100% sure if, like, you Googled if they would. So I'm a little on the fence, so we can talk about that.
Yeah,
but
valid.
Can I just tell you, when I first started working at the library, and Miss Catherine, whenever she, like, returns books, she always brings us a list of ones to put on hold, right?
Yeah.
And I think she was one of the first patrons where, because, you know, you always be professional and, like, whatever. And I would be, like, typing in some of these titles, and it was, like, I started giggling. Mm-hmm. And she was just like, what? And I just had to tell her, I was like, these titles are so funny. Mm-hmm. And she's like, they are. Aren't they just the greatest? And I was like, oh, phew. Okay, we're going to be. And ever since that day, like, I just loved her because I was able to kind of let my guard down, because there's something about a cozy mystery title with the puns.
Yes.
And that you just... you know what you're in for, and you just have to, like, appreciate it. And, like, she gets it. She really gets it. And then she, like, let me have that moment. And I love that. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to start the list. I'm so sorry if I mess up authors' names. It's going to be in the show notes, spelled correctly, because I'm not very good with names, but it's fine. All right. So first up, we have The Secret Book in Scone Society by Ellery Adams. So that one is: strangers flock to Miracle Springs, hoping the natural hot springs, 5-star cuisine, and renowned spa can cure their ills. I that sounds to me like they can cure my ills. If none of that works, they often find their way to Miracle Books, where, over a fresh-baked comfort scone, they exchange their stories with owner Nora, in return for a carefully chosen book. That's Nora's special talent, prescribing the perfect novel to ease a person's deepest pain. So when a visiting businessman reaches out for guidance, Nora knows exactly how to help. But before he can keep their appointment, he's found dead on the train tracks. Stunned, Nora forms the Secret Book and Scone Society, a group of damaged souls yearning to earn redemption by helping others. To join, members must divulge their darkest secret, the terrible truth that brought each of them to Miracle Springs in the first place. It's... They are going to untangle the web of corruption, and they also discover their own courage, purpose, and a sisterhood that will carry them through every challenge, proving it's never too late to turn the page and start over. Now... strong females. I like it. And that's Miss Catherine. She loves her strong females.
Yeah.
And if you enjoy that book, there's a series of 6. And I actually think most of these series I'm going to talk about today, like, they're still actively writing. The newest book came out this year. Mm-hmm. But,
I love it.
Oh my goodness. One, I think that a person, when you're in a conversation with and they can pick out a book for you, is absolutely amazing. But I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I know, with the description of that book, I might have to up my suggestion game.
Yeah.
I might have to really level up the pressure.
For real. Okay, so up next we have Donna Andrews. She has a Meg Langsland mystery series. There are 34 books in that series. Ooh. And the newest one actually came out this year. I don't think they're stopping anytime soon. So that series is about Meg. She's the main character in the series, I believe. I'm going to assume from my Google search. And, you know, Google never lies. So
I think if it's named after her, she's probably the main character.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming. Okay, so, but the first book is called Murder with Peacocks. I won't give away too much of that one, except Meg is asked to be the maid of honor in 3 weddings on the same weekend, and one of them wants peacocks.
Okay, have you, wait, sorry, have you ever gone to, it's on 60, and if you were heading toward Tampa, it's on the left-hand side, but there is a place that you can, like, drive into, and they sell all the, like, stone lawn art and all of that kind of stuff. Have you ever noticed it on 60?
I mean, yeah.
I always wanted to go in there because I used to pass it all the time going to and from my old job. Mm-hmm. And I was afraid to go alone because I didn't know what was back there. Like, once you go through the gate, what's back there?
Yeah.
And so when my dad was visiting once, I asked him to come with me. And we went back there. And they have loose peacocks that are just, like, all over the property. And we went to look at something, and I didn't realize one was there. And all of a sudden it jumped in front of me, and it was like, Rah! And it was, like, shaking. And I was like, back away, back away.
I've gone blueberry picking. and they have loose peacocks. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, these birds really are super pretty. But I'm like, at a wedding?
Yeah, but give them a wide berth. Yeah. A wide berth. So I'm sorry, that was the first thing I thought of.
That is so
like,
funny.
Oh
yes.
Gosh, the peacocks.
Yeah. We do have them around. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that we did, but we do.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like I said, there's 34 books in that series, and they're not stopping anytime soon.
They walk on the beach at Wiki Wachi.
I've been there.
Where the mermaids are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just wander around.
Huh. Yeah. What a time.
Mm-hmm.
To be what would it be like to be a peacock? Look at my pretty feathers. All right, so third on our list is A Most Agreeable Murder by Julia Seelys, I guess. This is actually this author's debut novel. And it's about Beatrice. She has none of the accomplishments of a true lady. She's terrible at needlework, has no musical ability, and her artwork is so bad it frightens people. Little does anyone know that Beatrice also harbors a dark secret, an obsession with the true crime cases she reads about in the newspaper. For her family's sake, she vowed to put this most unladylike obsession behind her. Eligible bachelor Edmund is set to attend the autumn ball, and the Steele family hopes that her eldest sister Louisa will steal his heart. Their future depends on this match. Beatrice needs to be on her best behavior, though that's made more difficult when a disgraced yet strangely alluring detective shows up to the ball. Just as Beatrice thinks she's gotten away with it, Edmund drops dead in the middle of a ballroom. As the storm rages outside, the evening descends into a frenzy as it becomes clear that they are trapped with the killer. But maybe, just maybe, it's Beatrice's time to shine.
I like it.
I know. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, that's right up Miss Catherine's alley. For sure. And I also remember her returning it. And I remember when she put it on the counter, she was like, I loved it.
Yeah. Oh, I love when she does that.
It's the best. And then, like, I love when she goes, I think you'll love it. And I'm like, Miss Catherine, my list is so long, but at some point I'll get to it, I promise.
I know. I have to pick and choose because she says it to me a lot, but I have enjoyed any of the ones that, like, I did get to. Yeah. So she knows me.
Oh yeah. She's literally amazing. She does not work at the library, but, like, I feel like she's an honorary member. I
think so.
Yeah. At this point, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so next up we have the Key West Food Critic Mysteries by Lucy Burdette. I think I'm saying that right. So, super cool thing about these books is that they all have recipes in them, and it takes place in the Keys. I mean, how fun. Hello, we're Florida. So, the first book in that series is An Appetite for Murder. And this one's a really... Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Haley Snow's life always revolved around food, but when she applies to be a food critic for a Key West style magazine, she discovers that her new boss would be Kristen, the woman Haley caught in bed with her boyfriend.
My goodness.
Haley thinks things are as bad as they can get until the police pull her in as a suspect in Kristen's murder. Kristen was killed by a poisoned key lime pie. Why does it have to be key lime?
Oh, it's like the best pie.
Right? Now, Haley must find out who used meringue to murder before she takes all the blame.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And I feel like because of how much I love puns, I just really feel like I would love cozy mysteries.
I think you would.
You know?
I do. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I think Bethany's sick of my pun gel, but it's okay because guess what? She's still going to hear them.
Never.
I'm just kidding. All right, so next up we have the Peg and Rose Mysteries by Laurien. Bernesi. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm butchering these names, but it's okay. The first book in that series is Peg and Rose Solve a Murder. So it's like a Murder, She Wrote meets The Odd Couple. And it's a spin-off from her much-loved Melanie Travis Canine series. It's featuring Melanie's elderly aunts, tough as nails Peg and soft-spoken Rose, who put their differences aside to stop a killer if they don't kill each other first. So I just think that that's, one, it's a spinoff from a series, and I believe the series that it's a spinoff from has a ton of books in it.
Okay.
This one only has 3 in it so far, but like I said, still actively writing. So I think that's just so cool. And then I think, oh, it's not the last one, it's my second to last one, is The Scottish Bookshop Mysteries by Paige Shelton. And the first book is called The Cracked Spine. And it's Wanted, a bold adventurer who wants to travel the world from a comfortable and safe spot behind a desk that has seen the likes of kings and queens and princes. A humble book and rare manuscript shop seeks an intelligent investigator to assist us in our search for things thought lost, and in our quest to return lost items to their rightful owners. So it's about Delaney, and she packs her bags and moves halfway across the world to Scotland and to start a job at the Cracked Spine, a bookshop located in the heart of the city. I'm going to be honest with you. I low-key feel like I would do that.
Yeah.
Given the opportunity. That's amazing. So I'm going to kind of leave it at that because I feel like me just saying that she moved halfway across the world to Scotland is enough for you to want to read it. So, but an artifact goes missing basically in the book, and someone's sister is murdered. So she has a little investigating to do.
Yes.
And if you can't tell, all these books are very heavily like woman-led, which I think is so cool. So, because I feel like we obsess over true crime. Let's be honest. Well, at least you and I do.
A little bit.
So I feel like if you were to put me, you, and Miss Catherine in a room, like with cold cases, with cold cases, let us have a go.
Yeah.
Give me 20 minutes. Give me the internet.
Minutes.
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. I'm sure they're cold cases. So yeah. All right. So the last book that we're going to talk about, or last series, is The Candy Coated Mysteries by Nancy CoCo. And the first book in the series is, get this, All Fudged Up.
I love it. Oh.
I love it. Welcome to the historic McMurphy Hotel and Fudge Shop, where life is sweet, revenge is sweeter, and murder is here to stay. That's not comforting at all.
No.
You can't fudge an alibi. Allie McMurphy is up to her neck in renovations at the grand old hotel that's been in her family for generations. With its quaint Victorian charm and world-famous fudge shop, the place is one of Mackinac Island's most beloved landmarks. I think I butchered that. It's fine. Sure, every family has a skeleton or two in their closet, but Allie didn't expect to find an actual corpse inside hers, especially one Joe Jessup, who had a long-running feud with her dear departed grandfather.
Oh my goodness, that would ruin your day.
Which makes Allie the number one suspect. Can she sniff out the culprit before another victim checks in? I also am like, can she sniff out? What does that mean?
No.
What does that mean? I want to know. I want to know. So, Ms. Catherine, I'd like to personally thank you for this list.
That's a great list.
Because I think I'm going to go down a rabbit hole now. So, I'm going to be like, Bethany, I'm so sorry. I can't do anything. I'm reading.
Maybe that needs to be our next little book club one. Like we did a contemporary romance. Maybe we need to pick a cozy mystery to like read and talk about together.
That would be so fun.
Yeah, we might need to do that.
Okay, I'm game.
That might be fun.
All right, what do you have on your list?
Well, okay, so I kind of looked up cozy mystery as a genre, and like one of the big things about it is just that there really is no serious like gore element to it and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's one of the big ones. And then obviously like small town, a lot of times they do tend to be food related. So I was able to narrow down some of the things I've read that I think might fall into this category. My first one was The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. Yeah, so there's 4 books now. I think the 4th one just came out. So it is a series now, but it was fun. So it takes place in a retirement village. So there's these like 4 friends who are all like octogenarians. So they're all in their 80s, right? And they meet weekly to try and look into unsolved murders. Ooh. And then they find themselves in the midst of like a live case. And so even though they're in their 80s, do they still have the spunk to crack the case? But my favorite thing that I'm pretty sure I'm remembering this correctly is they don't want other people to join their club. And so they pretend that they're like watching Russian movies or something like that. Like there was something ridiculous where like, oh, nobody wants to be part of that club. You know what I mean? So like they came up with this thing where it's like, you know, I'm 80 at this point, there's better things to do with my time, and then that way it keeps other people out so that they can really just have this like close club where they crack the case.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Me, you, Miss Catherine.
Done. I'm in it.
We'll drag Jenny into it.
I'm in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
I like it. So yes, that one was really fun. The other one, Miss Catherine actually recommended this to me.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because she said that she said she could see me doing this. So it's called The Broken Spine, and it's by Dorothy St. James. And the premise of this book is that there's this library, and it is being turned into a bookless technological center.
Ew.
Right? So the librarian who works there and has like no control over the situation, right? Like her director is like, this is what's happening, just live with it. And the girl at the desk is like, can't live with it. I have to rescue all these books. So now she's like taking all the books and trying to like run as much as she can down to the basement and like hiding it in a secret room where she makes like a secret library. And so only certain patrons would she allow in on her secret and down to the secret room to like give them actual books and stuff. But what happens in the book is that a councilman is crushed by an overturned shelf, and then she becomes the prime suspect.
Ooh.
Hence the mystery. And in my Goodreads, I did look at my Goodreads on this one, and it says, cozy mystery that takes place in the library. Does it get any better than that? I felt content and satisfied reading it, which is all I normally hope for anyway.
Oh.
I was very content when I read that book.
Yeah.
So I liked it a lot. My next one is also another series, and it's called Finlay, Donovan is Killing It, and it's by Elle Cosimano.
I remember that book.
Yeah, I think there's 3 in the series now. I would like to continue it at some point, but I've only read this first one so far. But Finlay is a author who's like kind of in a slump, right? So she's really stressed out. She's newly single because her ex left her for their realtor.
Right.
And then he also fired her nanny without telling her. So she's like super stressed. And she accidentally finds herself in the midst of like a crime contract. So it was kind of funny, like in the book, she takes herself to a restaurant and she's sitting there eating, and all of a sudden like somebody assumes that she's somebody else. And so there's this note passed to her and she's like, no, no, no. And they're like, yes, yes, yes. And like this whole thing happens. So she gets trapped in the middle of a crime that she like doesn't want any part of.
New fear unlocked.
Yeah, so it was really fun, but it was quick, it was fun. I didn't find it to be gruesome at all. So even though maybe it's a stretch for cozy, I think for someone who reads a lot of thrillers, that like something like this would still count. So I really enjoyed it. I actually thought Finlay was like a really fun character. So I'm curious what happens in the other books. Another one that I read was with one of my book clubs a couple years ago. It was the #1 Ladies Detective Agency, Alexander McCall Smith. And like, I don't even know how many books are in the series at this point.
Probably a lot.
And they did make a TV show. I've never watched it, but they did make a TV show. So the protagonist, she owns a detective agency, and she's hired to find like a missing husband. And it all takes place in Botswana. So like the scenery, like where you are, is really cool because, you know, I've never been there. Like it was just, I loved the writing and like being there. But it starts with like a small mystery, and it suddenly turns into like uncovering a con man, locating these missing children. Like that just takes a whole... I gave it 5 stars when I read it.
Ooh.
I know. So I wrote, I can't believe I'm just reading this now. It was so sweet, a perfect cozy mystery, and I honestly laughed out loud a few times. Such a likable character with a decent heart. I'll be looking into more of these, I think. And I have read 2 of them, 3. I know I did the giraffe one. The giraffe one was the second one. I think I read the 3rd one as well, and I've really enjoyed them. And my last one was, you know, Louise Penny. Mm-hmm. I finally read Still Life.
Oh, okay.
That was the first one in that series. So some of you might know this is Detective Gamache. And he's brought in to solve a mystery at Three Pines, because Three Pines is a town so small that it doesn't even have its own police force.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So in comes the detective that we all love. You know, and this town was like so safe, and, you know, so he comes in and it's like a small town, quirky characters. It was kind of a fun mystery. And, you know, it was just one of those things like, oh my goodness, this woman we all know is just dead in the woods. What happened? You know, and I think that's what I like about some of these, because I do read a lot of thrillers. And so it's nice to be like, oh my goodness, somebody died in my cafe. What happened? But like, you don't need all of the gore and the extras. Like, you just need to know that this person is deceased and we're going to figure out why. And I'm like, that's what makes it cozy, right? Like, yeah. I don't have to deal with all the other drama. And I had marked a quote from this one, and it said, she felt if she could just get a quick look at a person's bookcase and their grocery cart, she'd pretty much know who they were. And I feel like that still stands.
Interesting.
So if I really want to know you, I need to see your bookcase, and I need to see what you're buying at the grocery store. And I will then have a nice idea of who you are as a person.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good. I like that. I like
do.
that a lot.
I like it too. Huh. But those were mine. I mean, I think they fall into the category.
Honestly, I think they all do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What is it about Cozy Mysteries, though, that they're all series? Because, like, if you look at this, like,
all.
1,
Like
2, 3, 4, all of mine are series.
All of these, I believe, are series except for the debut novel.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure, I think there might be more after The Broken Spine. I know this author's written, like, a ton.
Yeah.
But I think that is a series, too.
Interesting.
Yeah. Huh.
Well, they must do well.
Okay, so in terms of, like, our last episode when we talked about writing club and, like, becoming a writer, I think if you and I are going to write Cozy Mysteries, the way to go.
I think so.
Yeah. And then we can have a series.
Yeah, there we go. I'm here for it. All right. So, if you're like, I wonder if I'm a cozy mystery person, because that's also what I'm asking myself. Know that we actually have a cozy mystery book club that meets once a month. They meet the 4th Monday of the month at 1 p.m. in the library. So come check it out and see if you're a cozy mystery person along with us. I think that'd be really fun. And
not to bribe anybody, but because food tends to be in a lot of these books, there is usually food at that group.
Yeah, our director, I'm gonna put her on the hot spot real quick in the hot seat. She is a phenomenal baker.
Yes.
And she does bake a lot, especially for cookbook club. Not cookbook. Oh, yeah. Cookbook club. Cozy Mystery Club. Wrong club.
She does both, though.
She does.
Yeah.
And she has good food. So
tea. She's been getting all those fancy teas. Like, sometimes if a book takes place in a very specific area, she tries to get a specific tea for us to try. So we have, like, a whole tea situation happening now as well at the library, which is amazing.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Bethany, I have one last question before we go.
What's that?
What are you reading?
Oh, I never saw this coming. I'm always shocked. Okay, so I am reading... So I've been trying to run again, and, like, I was looking for some inspiration. So I found a book, and it's called Good for a Girl, and it's by Laurien Fleshman. And I was not a runner in high school. Like, I didn't start running until I was an adult, so I never knew this person's name. It's nonfiction. She is actually a highly decorated long-distance runner. Okay. She, like, was... just steps away, no pun intended, from, like, the Olympics. Like, that's how good she was. But the book itself was really interesting because it did give me a little bit of motivation that I was looking for, but it also taught me a lot. So it goes into a lot about the situation that a lot of girls and women deal with when you're talking about sports, and the coaching style, and what happens when we aren't properly teaching people how to eat and fuel themselves, when we aren't accepting the fact that girls' and women's bodies change as they grow, and that we have to work with that, not against that, because, I didn't realize the way that osteoporosis can, like, why women have more injuries than men sometimes in sports like these. And it kind of goes into the why behind that because of, all the different things that come into it. And it was very interesting. And I really was impressed with where she came from, what she learned, who she is, and how she's using it in her future. So I thought that was kind of cool. Not that I'm trying to get into the Olympics. I just want to make sure that, like, now that I'm finally going again, that I keep going again. And so it was just kind of was what I'm looking for. So I found it very interesting. So what are you reading?
I am reading Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. I think I'm saying all of that right. It's the second book in the Shadow and Bone series.
Oh, you loved it.
I loved Shadow and Bone, which is so funny because can I say what your rating was when I saw it on Goodreads?
Yes.
Okay, I rated it 5 stars and Bethany rated it 2 stars. And I think it's so interesting because you and I can love the same books, but then there'll be one book that I love that you didn't love as much, or you'll love, and I'm like, meh, it was all right.
Yeah.
That's one of them, and I'm like, I have to read the series because I also want to watch the show. There's a show. So I really enjoyed the first one. It actually got me, and I'm kind of mad that it got me. Like the little twisty twist.
Okay.
Because I was like, I should have seen that coming. Because I even literally questioned something that happened. And so, but I am glad that it got me because books don't always get me anymore.
That's good.
So,
That's good. We did watch the show. The show was pretty decent.
Yeah. So I'm starting the second one and I'm excited. So I'll have to let you know.
I know. I was my book club. My friends, we had a book club, and that's who I had originally read it with, and they all liked it more than I did. But they also read more fantasy than I do.
Yeah.
And so I think in terms of like fantasy, sometimes it's just a stretch for me. And I think I just kind of struggled a little.
Yeah, well, and like I talked about it last month on the podcast, but I think I'm getting more into
Now, as an
fantasy
author,
again.
I have read, I'm pretty sure she's the same one who also did The Ninth House, I think is what it was called.
I think so.
And I loved it.
She's written quite a few.
Yes, I really liked that one because that was like a whole. It took place on like one of the like Harvard or something, like one of the college campuses, like a a school that's been around forever, and secret societies and like what's happening in the basement under like and it was like I was in it.
Yeah,
I was very much in it, and so she's a very good writer.
If I remember correctly too, because I did Shadow and Bone for book club last month for high school. I think Shadow and Bone was her debut novel.
Oh, we'll have to look into that.
I believe
Okay.
I'm right on that. So I thoroughly loved it. I'm
That'll
excited.
be interesting. Yeah, because I think she started as a YA and then she stretched into adult because Ninth House and the follow-up to that one are both in the adult section.
Okay.
So, yeah, she could.
All right. Well, that's all we have for you guys.
I was like, Sarah,
I almost
wait.
forgot. Okay, are you a Cozy Mystery reader? Would you like more information about Cozy Mystery Club? Where can they reach us, Bethany?
Or is there a specific cozy mystery that they want us to read to talk about?
True. Yeah, send us those.
And I'm pretty sure they can find us at the Mulberry Library at gmail.com.
Crushed it.
I love it. Or on Facebook, or on Instagram.
Yeah.
Or you can come visit us because we love to chat.
Yeah.
Is what we do.
Yeah.
So.
All right, well, we'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you guys. Happy reading, Mulberry. Just keep going. Just keep going.
I'm sorry.